So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Superhuman Babymaker II, which is Superhuman's lightweight road style e-bike. And we're going to go over the details, build, geometry, do a hill climb test, a range test, and review on how this bike rides. But before we get into the tests themselves, let's go over the basics of the Babymaker. So the Babymaker is a Class 3 electric bike that's labeled in the commuter category, and is made of 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. The bike that I tested is the 23-inch medium-large size, which is for people 5'9" to 6'4". But if you need a smaller size, there's also a 19-inch small medium size, which is designed for people 5'2" to 5'8". The Babymaker comes with either a 19-inch or 23-inch seat tube length. The reach for the small medium is 381 millimeters, and 4 and 6 millimeters for the medium large. The standover height is 30 inches for the small medium, and 33 inches for the medium large, and the wheelbase is 996 millimeters for the small medium, and 1006 millimeters for the medium large. The Babymaker II comes with a 350 watt rear hub motor that provides 5 levels of pedal assist up to speeds over 25 miles per hour, and a 36 volt 10 amp hour lithium ion battery with Samsung cells that's integrated into the down tube, and it only weighs 2.5 pounds. There's an LCD smart display that shows the speed, pedal assist level, battery life, odometer, and max and average speed for your ride. It has 700C wheels with an external width of 22 millimeters and internal width of 19 millimeters. It also comes with 700 by 28C Kenda tires. It has a single speed Gates belt drive drivetrain that uses a carbon belt with a 63 tooth crank and a 22 tooth rear cassette. And for stopping power, the Babymaker comes with Magura MT30 4-piston hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm rotors both in the front and in the rear. The Babymaker II only weighs in at 35 pounds, has a rated weight capacity of 275 pounds, and comes with numerous accessories, with my test bike coming with the rear rack. So when it comes to road style bikes to me, there's 3 different things it needs to do really well. It needs to be light, it needs to be comfortable, and it needs to put down power efficiently. When it comes to the lightness, the Babymaker is a very respectable 35 pounds. And while the bike is pretty light, more importantly, it feels light. The handling and pedaling feels snappy and instantaneous. And this bike has the instant power transfer like other road bikes I've ridden, which is a good thing. One of the most pleasant things about this bike was the comfort. And I know that road bikes should be stiff so they can transfer power easily, but there is a fine line between a bike providing a direct ride and a stiff ride. And this is where Superhuman has done a very good job. This bike feels direct and responsive, but not chattery. There's a compliance in the frame that helps mute out the small bumps and imperfections on the road, but it still remains stiff enough to not feel sloppy. Which brings us to the power of the Babymaker. So the Babymaker II is powered by a 350 watt rear hub motor that provides pretty good power for its size. In levels 1 and 2, I found the power to be pretty low, and more for someone who only wants to ride the bike around 8 or 9 miles per hour. But once you hit level 3, the power becomes much stronger, and in levels 4 and 5, the bike doesn't have crazy power, but the power is there, and makes pedaling the bike above 20 miles an hour pretty darn easy. And one thing that really surprised me is how quiet the drivetrain of the bike is. The motor and carbon belt drive are almost completely silent, and I did do some testing pedaling the bike without any motor assistance, and I was shocked to report that the bike pedaled great without any assistance at all. So while the bike rode great, I decided to test 2 important factors for me when buying an e-bike. First is its hill climbing ability. Alright, here we go for our hill climb. This is actually one of the steepest hills in the town I live in. It's about 20 to 22% of max degree incline. We're doing level 3 out of 5, and here we go. Moving up to level 4. We're just going to go level 5. Let's go full force. Wow. So, I'm having to stand a little bit. So, one thing I did notice is that since this is a single speed, we have a 63 tooth in the front and a 22 in the back. We are powering up the hill at 11 miles an hour. It's not too bad standing up. Not bad at all, actually. I do recommend standing on some of the steeper climbs, but not breathing hard at all. There we go. That was not that bad. So as you can tell, the Babymaker did a really good job on the climb. And the hardest part of it is that since the Babymaker is a single speed with a really big front chainring, I had to stand on the pedals for the climb. But the bike still made it up, and I think that any climbs between 10 to 15%, you should be able to stay seated for the whole entire time. So now that I tested the hill climbing ability, I want to test out the Babymaker on what it was designed for, commuting and long distance. So for this test, I decided to ride from my house all the way to the Superhuman shop here in San Diego, which is approximately 40 miles. Admittedly, before I started this test, I wasn't too sure if I'd actually make it to the bike shop because there was such a big variance on mileage claims on the Superhuman website. And my plan for this test was to try and avoid any main roads if possible, and try to enjoy the neighborhoods and side roads. After heading down the mountain, I was able to take a road through Mission Trails, which is a beautiful regional park that offers stunning views and a beautiful rugged terrain in the heart of San Diego. And while riding through the park, it occurred to me that many people in cars probably drive past this road every single day, not realizing the beauty that they're missing. Once I was finished riding through Mission Trails, I went through some of my old neighborhoods, and eventually through the heart of Mission Valley, which is a popular area that's centrally located in San Diego that's famous for its missions, and it was actually the site of the first Spanish settlement in California in 1769. So after heading through this beautiful area, I turned from my last long stretch to my final destination. And while riding, I was surprised how good I felt. Not just physically, but how good I felt mentally. Usually when I have to drive in my car, I'm tense, and I'm just not enjoying myself. But riding the bike was not just only a lot of fun, it was relaxing. And I'm not saying that riding a bike in the streets can't be stressful, but having the ability to take side routes, ride through neighborhoods, and just pedaling along with a smile on your face is really what biking's all about. So after 40.43 miles and over 1,200 feet of climbing, I had reached the Superhuman bike shop. It had only taken me a total of 2.5 hours to get there, and the bike still had over 60% of the battery left, which means that based on this ride, I would have been able to get over 70 miles of range easily. So overall, I was pleasantly surprised by the Babymaker II. When I first saw the Babymaker, I loved the clean look and design, but I wasn't sure how I was going to ride, I wasn't sure what kind of range I was going to get, and I wasn't sure if the single-speed drivetrain was going to be easy to use for the long-distance ride. But after doing an extensive amount of testing, I can say that this is a solid electric bike that has a decent amount of power, a long battery life range, exceptional climbing, great frame compliance, it's pretty light, and most importantly, it won't break the bank. And with the $1,500 electric bike segment increasing, it's sometimes hard for bike companies to separate themselves from the competition. But I genuinely think that Superhuman Bikes has done a great job in the design and build quality of this bike for its segment. And for this price point, it's a hard bike to beat. But if you have any questions, or have a Babymaker yourself, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one.